Today we're talking about Gen X and technology, the only generation that grew up rewinding VHS tapes and now resets Wi-Fi routers for their millennial kids. Boomers like to brag about surviving without smartphones. Millennials and Gen Z can't imagine a world without them. But Gen X, we're the bridge. We lived through it all. The corded phones with the curly wires that could strangle you at any moment, to TikTok dances that would make your knees hurt just by watching them. So let's boot up the dial-up modem, wait 3 hours for AOL to connect, and dive into how Gen X handled the biggest tech shift in history. Gen X early life was fully analog. You wanted to listen to music? Better hope you recorded the radio at the exact moment that the DJ played your song. You wanted to play a video game? That meant blowing into a cartridge, slamming it back into the NES, and praying Mario would start this time. Phones had cords. TVs had rabbit ears. And if you missed your favorite show, too bad. You'd probably never see the episode again unless it came on in reruns during the summer. Then, as adults, Gen X hit the jackpot, or the nightmare, depending on who you ask. The digital revolution. Suddenly, everything changed. The internet, email, Napster, DVDs, smartphones. They had to adapt to a completely new reality while juggling jobs, kids, and mortgages. That's why Gen X has a superpower. They know how to live both ways. They can survive without Wi-Fi, but they can also troubleshoot your laptop faster than most IT departments that keeps putting you on hold. If Gen X remembers anything, we remember this sound. That horrifying, screeching dial-up modem noise that signaled you were entering cyberspace. And also blocking your mom from using the phone, because that's how it worked back then. It was called dial-up. It used the phone system. The internet in the 1990s was chaos. GeoCities websites with neon backgrounds, chat rooms full of people pretending to be a 23-year-old supermodel, but really typing in their parents' basement. Downloading a single song on Napster took 4 hours, and it probably wasn't even the right song. But Gen X, we loved it because we saw potential. Unlike boomers who looked at the internet like it was witchcraft, Gen X actually embraced it. We built blogs. We burned CDs. We created the first memes. And while warning each other not to open attachments from strangers, which people still do, we were out there trying to explore this new world of the World Wide Web. Gen X was also the first to experience the digital workplace. Suddenly, the office had computers. This was the start of the 24/7 work creep, where bosses realized they could reach out to you all the time. You thought you escaped the office? Nope. There's a BlackBerry in your pocket buzzing at 11 p.m. with unread emails from your boss. Millennials inherited this nightmare full force. Gen Z has mostly rejected it with quiet quitting. But Gen X, we were the guinea pigs. We were the ones testing Microsoft Office while trying to figure out why Clippy kept bopping up on our digital as like a digital stalker. Home technology. That's really where Gen X thrives. First came VHS tapes. If you wanted to watch a movie, you drove to Blockbuster, Home Vision Video, or others, argued with your sibling in the aisle for 30 minutes, and prayed the tape wasn't already rented out. And then, of course, be kind, rewind. Then came DVDs, sleek, futuristic, and easy to scratch into oblivion. Then Blu-ray. Then suddenly it was all gone, replaced by streaming platforms that multiplied faster than gremlins in a swimming pool. For millennials and Gen Z, streaming is normal. For Gen X, it's wild. They remembered when we only had 3 channels, and it felt like a luxury when you got all 3 in on your TV. Now they have to juggle 12 streaming services just to watch the same show they already had on DVD. And here's where things get interesting. Gen X didn't grow up with social media, but they adopted it They were on MySpace before Zuckerberg invented Facebook. They joined Facebook and then reluctantly Instagram, and some even braved TikTok despite needing knee braces afterwards. But their approach is different. Millennials curate every post like it's a resume. Gen Z treats social media like a personality test, and Gen X, well, we mostly use it to share memes about back pain, and we post vacation pictures in our grandkids, and pretty much that's it. We're not obsessed with likes or followers. We survived adolescence without digital validation, which means we don't need to live online. But we can when we want to. Our biggest trait with technology, our biggest superpower also, is skepticism. We use it all, but we don't trust it. We remember Y2K panic. Back in the year 1998 to 1999, we were told the internet was going to explode, the world was going to stop moving because computers, digital date, only had 2 numbers at the end, and the year 2000 was going to reset them to 1900. Didn't happen. We remember malware wiping out the family computer. We remember downloading what was supposed to be a Metallica song and getting a virus that nearly destroyed our Windows 1998. So we don't buy into the hype. Boomers fall for Facebook scams. Millennials line up for every new iPhone. Gen Z trusts TikTok with their entire identity. But Gen X, we're the ones saying, yeah, I'll wait to see if it actually works. And here's a legacy piece. Gen X, we've become digital translators. We taught boomers how to use emails. We raised millennials glued to iPods. We now help Gen Z set up Wi-Fi when their router glitches. We're the middle managers of technology, not flashy, not viral, but essential. We're the only ones who can talk to both sides, explaining to TikTok to boomers without having a stroke, and explaining rotary phones to Gen Z without crying. That makes Gen X the glue holding all of technology together. No credit, no headlines, just quiet competence, which is, again, the Gen X way. So Gen X's tech story is about adaptation. We grew up rewinding VHS tapes. We built the early internet, and now we navigate a world where your fridge has a Wi-Fi and a screen for no reason. Next time when we talk, we're going to talk about culture and identity, and how Gen X's sarcasm and the whatever attitude shaped the entire era that we live in today, and how it compares to millennials and Gen Z.